Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go road racing here from Sonoma Raceway, the second road course of the season here, looking for, well, win number 2 of the season now, as we as well see Ryan Blaney still out due to injury this weekend, but we see Alex Albon in the car this weekend for Project 91, as well as Kamui Kobayashi's in the lineup this weekend in the 67 car for 2311 Racing. A lot of fun little things there to come this weekend here as we would get qualifying underway. Big developments this weekend as well. I have officially signed a deal with Joe Gibbs Racing to drive the number 19 car next season in the NASCAR Cup Series. So that is finalized. It is not announced yet, so nobody in NASCAR outside of Joe Gibbs Racing is aware that that is going down. So we will let colleague know soon enough, probably in another 4 or 5 episodes, at least before the playoffs start, so they have time to adequately find a suitable driver for their number 16 going into next season. But yeah, right now it's just us and Joe Gibbs Racing that are aware of this news. We will be replacing the retiring Martin Truex Jr. And speaking of Martin Truex Jr., his first win of the season last episode now, as he looks to try and maybe go back-to-back this weekend at a track where he's had quite a bit of success at in the past here. Sonoma Raceway has always treated Truex pretty well. Truex, a very respectable road racer, and he kind of comes and goes. Some years he's just not great at the road courses, then some years he's really, really good, and of course won at Sonoma in 2023, but he's won, didn't he win here like once more, I think in like 2017 or something? I'm probably off with that, but nonetheless, he's got a good history here, but I'm hoping to dethrone him today now as we come through these final couple of corners now in Sonoma, going down into the heavy braking hairpin and looking for the best exit possible now. Not expecting pole position. Pole's hard to come by in Sonoma. We ran an overall pretty good lap. We're going to come to the line and see. The goal with the 134.9, we hit a 131.9, so 3 seconds above the goal time. Puts us road number 2 P4, a very good qualifying effort there. And on pole position, it's actually going to be Martin Truex Jr. over Chastain, Elliott, myself, and Kyle Larson, the top 5. You see the rest of the top 10, those part-time drivers. Alex Albon, P21, Kamui Kobayashi, about P25, so some work to do for those two now as we get ready to roll into this weekend. I didn't do any of the Trucks to Xfinity races. I was on a bit limited time to get this video recorded, so I decided to focus in on Cup. Friesen picked up the win at Worldwide Technology Gateway Raceway, and the Xfinity Series was in Sonoma. I was planning to do it, but already gave my reason why. The winner would actually be Sammy Smith for a Junior Motorsports, so a new winner there, I believe, in the Xfinity Series. And now we can focus in on the Cup Series Sunday from Sonoma, our second road race of the year, and we're on a bit of a road course swing. 3 in the next 4 races. Let's get ready to roll.
Welcome everyone back to sunny California as we get ready for a road course swing. We're here at Sonoma Raceway as Martin Truex Jr. comes to a track he's had so much success at in his career. Could we see him win here one more time?
Hell yeah, we can, Mike. That boy starts from pole today and has shown speed all weekend. Good luck beating that 19 car today, Kevin.
You might be right, Clint, but that 9 car starts on row 2. 5 wins, and he is always good at these road courses. I got my eyes on Chase Elliott today.
So starting in row number 2, Hendrick Motorsports all around us. The 3 drivers at Hendrick that have been good all season, the 24, the 5, the 9 as well. Alex Bowman, as usual, further down the order. I think it's starting to become a little bit more realistic that we are not going to see Alex Bowman in that 48 car next season unless something turns around, and it turns around quickly. Justin Haley's been struggling all weekend, starting at the back of the field. He qualified last, but not starting last, as Chris Buescher failed optical scanning station multiple times, so he will be starting from that last position in P40. It's a Truex and Chastain front row. Elliott, myself, row 2. Elliott, 5 wins on the season. We're not going to allow him to get 6 very easy. The green flag is out from Sonoma Raceway, and the quest for our second career win today, and I think the best opportunity we've had so far this season to get it, is underway as we head up the elevation through these first couple of corners. Now I gave a shot to the back of Chastain immediately off the start to try and fire him out in front of the 19 car. Unfortunately, unfortunately didn't quite work, but we're clear of the Napa Auto Parts machine of Elliott. But hold on, he forced his nose up the inside, so he sticks up my left rear. Now we're wheel to wheel, about bumper to bumper into the braking zone. But Chastain still wheel to wheel with Martin Truex Jr. Who's going to come out on top of this one? We're right here behind it, just kind of letting it settle out. But Chastain is going to get the lead. I'm going to get in front of the 19 now, but he's going to fight back up the inside. That one car is not fast. I could immediately tell that Chastain might have qualified the front row. There's not a lot of speed, however, in that car now as we exit the long sweeping carousel, and look at the run we get on the exit of it. We're going to go to the lead here potentially. Yes, we will. We take the lead on the run down towards the double right-hander, and Truex is struggling to pass the one car. Chastain is slow, you can tell, and now he's nearly right into my back bumper in the background. Elliott's actually ran Truex off the road a little bit, so Truex goes from pole to fourth. We go from fourth to first. Chastain second to second, Elliott third to third. So those positions remaining the same, but we have taken the lead early on here in Sonoma Raceway. By the end of the first lap, I drove away by 1.4 seconds, and it's only 5 laps in stage 1. A pretty short stage, stage 2, 7 laps, so 2 extra, but very happy, of course, with how this race is starting. And it was Elliott and Truex putting a lot of pressure on the one car, but Chastain, it was very hard to pass for other cars, and Chastain was slow. So it was allowing me to drive away. We were now 3.5 seconds up the road, and no one at this point in time could find a way, around this one car. So 3 laps ago already in stage 1, and we're already basically on cruise control because of Chastain's lack of pace. Now, we have seen before if a slower car usually loses second or so, they kind of go on a bit of a downfall. So we'll be paying attention to that as I have a bit of a moment there going for a bit of a slide, but able to save it and keep it going in the right direction now as we approach the final moments of this stage. And it was Austin Cindric, actually, surprisingly, who had passed Truex, passed Elliott, and then passed Chastain. And he would get up to second, but he was nearly 7, now 8 seconds behind by the time that had actually happened. We come to the final lap of the stage, and we're nearly 9 seconds ahead. So Cindric up to second. Truex has passed Elliott for fourth, but Chastain's still really slow, and Cindric isn't all that fast either, but he's quite a bit faster than the one car. So really interesting opening stage here now, as it's still looking like it's going to be Chastain in third place now. But for us, it's just about bringing it home here in stage number 1. Very happy with how the car is driving so far. We're not going to need any adjustments or anything, so it's going to be a quiet radio segment here so far to kick off this race, as there's nothing really to tell our crew chief now. So we're going to come through the left-hander down this front straightaway, and sure enough, win stage number 1. We will absolutely take that over Cindric, Chastain, Truex, as well as Elliott. Actually, Truex got Chastain at the line, but look at this. 11th place of Suarez on down are all electing to come into the pits here for 4 fresh tires. Ty Gibbs is 2 laps down out of the race. So Gibbs, his mechanical issues strike another episode, consecutive episodes, and that's going to be the end of his day, and his bad luck with mechanical issues continue. You see him on the left side in the pit lane. The green flag is back out, and stage 2 is underway. So the top 10 all stayed on the racetrack, and 11th place on Bank of Albany into the pits. We're going to drag race up the elevation and clear the 2 of Cindric, though, into the corner. We have had our fair share of battles with Austin Cindric, specifically at road courses. Sonoma last season, we had an altercation. Indianapolis road course as well. And here we are again, battling up front at Sonoma. You remember last season, we had a chance to win this race on the last lap, and it was Christopher Bell who ended up taking advantage of all the chaos, and he was the eventual winner of this race in Sonoma. But overall, a very good start for us here in stage number 2, similar to stage 1, other than the fact that we haven't had to pass anybody, of course, now. But a very calm start to this race here for sure, as there wasn't much going on in stage 1. And look at this, we have already driven away 3 seconds on second or third place of Truex and Cindric here, trying to stick with us now as we go through that double right-hander. Now, WeatherTech on the car as usual for the road courses. We always run WeatherTech cars at the road tracks, and unfortunately, we haven't won a road course race, but we have a great opportunity right here going into the kind of summer section of the season. NASCAR as well has an announcement coming next episode, so stay tuned on that. Something fun on the way for a mid-summer season swing of races. But we have Chicagoland in the next episode, and then after that there's 2 more road courses. So it's a really interesting part of the season where we're going to see a lot of international representation in the Cup Series as well. Today we got Alex Albon, of course, from the Williams F1 team, and of course the Thai driver. And then we have, of course, the Japanese racing legend of Kamui Kobayashi behind the wheel of that 67 car this weekend. Now we'll see who finishes better now. Stage 2, they've both been working on moving their way forward here now. 4.5 seconds between myself and Cindric. However, TRUEX has been running down Cindric for the last couple of laps, and TRUEX was closing the gap to me as well. But the problem for TRUEX is going to be passing the two. It was looking like at this point in the stage, as actually I make a big mistake right there, we save it. Unfortunately, we have a big gap, so we still remain ahead by 2 seconds, but the gap's cut in half there. But I was about to say TRUEX, he has, appears to be the fastest car on track right now, but he's got behind the two of Cindric, and he's struggling to pass him. You can see it on the timing right there. About 1/10 of a second or so between them. TRUEX actually, though, completes the pass here with a few laps to go in the stage, but you can see he lost a ton of time doing that. He's 6.5 seconds behind, nearly 7 seconds, as that gets all sorted out. So Cindric down to 3rd, Byron Bell 4th and 5th. Chastain has continued to fall down the order, like I said earlier. Once they kind of lose 1st and 2nd, they kind of start to drop down the field here now, as we come to the final few moments of this stage number 2, and it's all us again in this WeatherTech machine. The gap to TRUEX not really changing a whole lot here over the course of the last lap, about 6.5 to 7 second range again, really showcasing, yeah, that 19 has something here today, but I'm not quite sure if he's got enough, because we have been absolutely on it so far all day long, and almost sucks because I think I'm boring you guys by dominating this race. But yeah, it has been a dominant effort so far. Definitely the most dominant effort of our Cup Series career to date now, as this final lap of the stage well underway, as we were just bringing it home. The field light comes on, no big deal. So all the drivers that pitted at the end of stage 1 didn't need to, because we could make it to the end of the stage as we actually go wide through the little right-hander. But down into the final braking zone here on this circuit, it's going to be another stage victory as long as we don't choke on the exit of that corner and spin out like I've done a few times before. But we don't. We're going to win stage number 2 here from the Toyota Save Mart 350, looking very, very good. And I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of stage cautions on road courses coming back, because this would be a very boring race without them so far. No adjustments again. The car is driving fine. Kamui Kobayashi is up to 12th. Alex Albon up to, I think it said 18th right there. So both of those guys running in the top 20. But Kobayashi is working his way through the grid. Pay attention to that number 67 here at the end of the race and see how much further he is able to get now. As look at this position shuffle. LaJoie gains 4, Jones gains 5. Some drivers lose, many gain as well, as we're going to get ready to go back racing there. And I'm assuming that those were maybe 2 tire calls for the 27 of LaJoie and the 43 of Jones. But we're back underway for stage number 3. TRUEX on our right side up the elevation. We're clear already again into the braking zone, so we can settle in and focus in on trying to drive away. But for the first time all race long, we now have TRUEX, you know, within reach of us, and he has no cars in between himself and I. So I think over the next lap or 2 to 3 laps, we're going to actually, you know, see what the 19 is capable of doing here in Sonoma today. 12 laps of racing in this final stage. We have 13 laps of field to start the stage, so we should be okay to make it to the end as well. Even if a caution comes out, obviously make it even easier for us. And if it goes green the whole way, the AI might pit before the race is over. So we'll have to wait and see, you know, which option happens. If a caution comes out, nobody will pit. If it stays green, they actually might pit, because the field would get pretty close here now. But a good start to stage number 3. We've been in control all day long, but I didn't pull away for the rest of the lap. TRUEX actually stays within contact, and actually I make a mistake right there on the first turn, hit the concrete barrier. That puts TRUEX right on my bumper. A better exit for the 19. TRUEX's final race here from Sonoma Raceway. Looked briefly, but we stay ahead there. But that 19 Bass Pro Shops machine is putting on pressure. We now know ourselves. Nobody else outside of myself and Joe Gibbs knows, but we know we're going into that car now next season. TRUEX up the inside again, but we stay ahead there as we continue to control this pace. LaJoy in third place for the Andretti machine on lap 20. This was Joey Logano actually going around right here. This is the only look I got at it. It looked like he had contact with Chastain. There's Alex Albon in the 91 right there going into the battle. But you can see now as we come towards the end of the lap, TRUEX now still in striking distance. This is the big gain corner for the AI. They are able to gain so much on me. It's kind of like turn 1 at Watkins Glen. They can gain so much on you in that corner. Well, it's the final corner in Sonoma, or the final braking zone in Sonoma, where they can gain a ton of time. So TRUEX stays within striking distance here with 10 laps to go in this race here. Now as we're pushing wide through the carousel, unfortunately we haven't gone off, but we lose enough time. TRUEX goes to the lead, but we have a huge run off the corner, but the caution is going to come out, and it looks like it's from the 20 of Christopher Bell, last year's winner from this race, and we were about to take the lead right back. We were going to blow the doors off the 19 there with the angle and the corner exit that we had going. Instead, the caution comes out and resets us into second place. Not what I wanted to see, but we're still at least on the front row. Kobayashi now to P10, and we'll restart in P9 as Suarez has moved up as well to 8th place. Chastain up to 10th. Larson, Cindric there 7th and 6th now on the right side of the circuit. The green flag, it's back out. 7 laps to go here from Sonoma, and now the intensity is starting to build here. Now it actually kind of feels like a raw, natural NASCAR road course race. That's similar to real life. It starts out pretty calm, the intensity picks up, the racing gets better as the race goes. TRUEX stays ahead actually right there. You saw me slip and slide on the exit of the corner, so now about 3 car lengths between myself and the 19. In the background, Byron's wheel to wheel with Corey LaJoy, the Daytona 500 winner, and that Andretti Global 27. LaJoy locked into the playoffs, while his rookie teammate of Carson Hocevar looking to find a way into the playoffs himself. Now a big run to the back of the 19 of TRUEX. Now both of us one win on the season. Most recently though, the 19 of course going to victory lane as he's trying to go back to back, get another win here today now as we use that curbing to get this car to turn a little bit. But TRUEX just able to get a better exit than I was right there. The further low you are in that carousel, it really hurts your opportunity to open up the wheel on the exit and just launch the car down the straightaway. So we had to stay put in behind this 19 for now as we continue to keep him in striking distance. But here through the final couple of corners, you can see a bit of a mistake right there going wide through the grass. That gives me up a little bit of time to the 19, but we still close right back up to him. But right here, watch this 19 go. He says see you later out of that final hairpin, so he takes right off, but we stay within striking distance. Lap 25, a big run again, and we're going to try and fire it up the inside into the carousel, wheel to wheel with the 19, trying to avoid contact. I would rather not run into the car that I'm going to be driving next season if I don't have to. Very close quarters right there, but clear of the 19. Back to the lead here in Sonoma. We've been in control all day long. TRUEX breaks later than myself, sticks the nose up the inside. We leave the room there. I was racing him pretty friendly at this point. He takes the lead back, so we'll have to settle in again and get ready for another overtaking opportunity here on that Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shops machine. Now right to the back bumper of TRUEX. Not what I wanted to do there, but fortunately nothing really comes out of it. He still goes in the right direction here. So once again through the final hairpin though, goodbye he says, and I slide on the exit of the hairpin, so that gap really opens up there between myself and the 19 of TRUEX now as we come to 5 laps to go here in Sonoma, trying to get back into this battle very quickly now. As the first half of the track, you can gain a lot of time specifically in this carousel if you hit it right. We dive it on in deep, and we got within striking distance again, but another mistake right there as we hop over the curb and go sideways, and we save it. But the time between myself and the 19 continues to grow as we make mistakes. 4 laps to go. We need to get on our game quickly here now and run this 19 down. Another slide on the exit of the corner. We save it again. I mean, at least we're saving it, but it's not helping us. It's only hurting us now as we continue to lose time. We dominated the first 2 stages, but it looks like we're gonna give up to TRUEX now, wide out of the right-hander. More time lost right there, but we dive it deep into the hairpin to try and make it up. 1 second, about 1 to 1.5 was the gap for the last few laps here as we continue to try and close in on these final 2 laps that are about to be underway here. Diving deep down into the double right-handers, you can see visually right there some time gained on that Bass Pro Shops machine as I continue to try and just close in on TRUEX and set a perfect lap. That's what it's going to take here, a perfect lap to really get to the back bumper now of this 19 of TRUEX. And so far we put a very solid lap together, and we go down into the final braking zone again here in the hairpin, and we approach 2 laps to go, a lot closer than we were a few laps ago. So the game is on. between myself and Martin Truex Jr. He actually clips the barrier right there on the left side. He crosses the stripe, less than a second between himself and I. Will it stay green? That's the question now as we continue to close in. You can see just visually how much closer we're getting, and look at the gain right there. It's not going to be close enough. Actually, yes it will. Truex really cautious into the braking zone. Maybe we're too aggressive into the door of the 19. Not what I wanted to do right there. Really leaning on the veteran and the 2017 Cup Series champion side by side out of the carousel, and back to the lead we go in Sonoma Raceway. Now it's been a dominant effort. Now Truex still close, and we actually go a little bit too deep again. That's the second time we battled with him and then gone too deep. Truex runs into the right rear, runs us wide. We're wheel to wheel now as we head down towards the S's. Truex again runs into the side of us there as we go into the left-hander, getting physical, very physical here from Sonoma, and now it's game on. That was 2 strikes in 1 go as we come to the final lap, slipping and sliding again, losing more time as Truex drives off. In the distance, we make it to the white flag with no caution, but the gap a second. We need to run a perfect lap. That's what it's going to take. We need to run an absolutely perfect lap here to go and get this 19 car now as we focus in up this first section of this course, and that was so far perfect. We gained nothing. So, I mean, that's the positive, is we didn't lose anything. Now, as the hunt is on, can we get there? Using the curbs on the right side, now pushing the corner exit as wide as we can, diving deep down into the apex, and it was a pretty good couple of corners. Perfect, actually. Now the gap, 1.1, 1.0, 9 tenths, 8 tenths, 7 tenths of a second as we dive deep down into the carousel, and it closes another few tenths now. A few car lengths just between myself and this 19. He opens it up in the center of the corner. We close it back on the exit now as we're going to head down towards the double right-hander. Not close enough to make a move on the 19, but we're close enough to at least get there. A shot to the back of the 19 now as Truex is looking in his rear view mirror or camera, whichever one he prefers at this point now, as we head on this race through the S's for the final time. Lap 30 of 30, no overtime needed. It's going to be a race to the finish in regulation now as Truex only has half a car length on us. No pressure from behind. LaJoy, Byron, 3rd and 4th. We're free to race now as we go through the right-hander and set up for this final hairpin wide on the exit there as we lose time down into the hairpin. A shot to the back of the 19 up the inside. The 19 slides into his door, wheel to wheel. We use him up on the enter and the center and the exit of the corner, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna win our second Cup Series race in Sonoma Raceway now, as Truex surely is not gonna be thrilled with that. But I thought about the lap before where he used us up twice. I felt like that gave me you know, the kind of get out of jail free card to go and use him up, and he's probably not going to be happy that I did use him up. And let's listen in on what Truex had to say.
Just another young kid that gets what he wants by wrecking people. They signed him to drive my car next year, and now here he is bulldozing us. I hope the team is getting what they want.
And Martin Truex Jr. just leaked the news that we're going to the 19 next season. That is going to create a conversation with colleague, I reckon, in the next episode. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But now everybody knows that we're going to the 19 in a fashion that we were not hoping. We got roughed. The 19 roughed us up the corner before, or not the corner before, the lap before. And, you know, I said, all right, I'm going to go at it and move him out of the way. In the final hairpin, I kind of set that up as best I could. And, you know, we moved him, and I felt like it was pretty fair. I mean, we moved him, bumped him, got into his door a little bit, but we didn't wreck him. Although he says we bulldozed him, wrecked him, whatever he wants to say. Truex is not happy. I wouldn't be happy in that situation either, but he used me up the lap before. I felt like it was fair game. You guys let me know in the comments whose side you're on, and should Truex have leaked that news that we're going to the 19? We'll definitely have a conversation with colleague in the next episode, but yeah, it's out in the public now. It's official. 2 wins on the season now, our first Mod 2-win season, of course. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys next episode in the return to Chicagoland. Have a great day, everybody.